Existing home sales in August fell 2% from July, with the supply of homes for sale down 13% year over year. Joining us now to discuss the housing market and economic outlook overall is RE/MAX President Nick Bailey. Nick, from your vantage point, and RE/MAX, you guys have a pretty good sense of the national sort of state of housing. What are you seeing when it comes overall to the markets that you follow?
Well, we've been in a red-hot real estate market, and the signs are showing that it continues. And even though there's a seasonally adjusted rate from July to August, as you mentioned, though, look at prices year over year are up 27%. And so buyers are still coming to the market very, very strong.
Is that the case sort of across the board? You know, obviously in the early days of the pandemic, we saw a lot of metropolitan areas suffer greatly. Now we see New York. I guess when you're coming off of a very low base, 55% increase perhaps has to be put in context.
Well, context for New York is interesting. When you look at even the number of transactions, they've had a 51% lift in transactions. And I get asked all the time, what are the hottest markets? I think this is the first time in my 25 years that I've been able to say every market is pretty hot around the country. But we're seeing huge price gains. Boise, Phoenix, continued to lead the way on those year-over-year price increases. We had 36 out of the 51 metro areas that we look at with the RE/MAX National Housing Report actually had double-digit appreciation year-over-year. So a lot of hot markets around there.
Yeah, now we were looking at housing starts as well. I mean, I don't know how much of this is also a result of the fact that not as many homes are being built. And in part, that does seem to go back to something we talk a lot about, which is the cost of raw materials. We know lumber prices have come down, but I think they're still historically high. What are you seeing and or expecting there?
Well, we have seen housing starts in single family come down 2.8% just recently out, but multifamily was up over 20%, with permits being up over 15%. My take on this, I was asked when it fell in April, May earlier this year, lumber futures and single-family housing starts fell by 9.5%. I don't think that it's actually falling. I think it's delayed. We have steel, we have concrete, and lumber. We have a labor issue when it comes to new construction. So we can't get new construction out of the ground fast enough. The pipelines of supply have been restricted, and because of the housing shortage, I think builders are turning to multifamily, knowing that we need to get more families in homes.
Nick, I mean, we see it in the numbers month on month, the fact that first-time home buyers are in many cases starting to get priced out of this market right now, too. I mean, certainly the demand side of the puzzle continues to grow, especially as more investors get into this market as well for single-family home rentals. How much is that exacerbating the issue?
Well, there are some reports that on average some of the investors, especially in that first-time home buyer price range, are consuming about 25% of that market. And that's going to be in the low to mid 300,000s in most of those metropolitan areas where they participate. However, when you look at mortgage applications, they were up 7%, the highest they've been since April. And that has been driven by FHA and VA mortgage applications. Those are, generally speaking, first-time home buyers. Let's face it, buyers have been beat up this year. They've been in multi-offer situations, and I think because of the historic rates that remain very competitive, and they are in the buyer's favor, I think we're starting to see, as inventory will open up a little bit, more of those first-time home buyers return to the market because they think they have a chance.
Nick, appreciate the update.